Frustrated with your Dell Latitude 7320 detachable constantly crashing? Or maybe it's refusing to boot up at all, rebooting randomly for no reason, or just giving you that blank screen of despair? What about those malfunctioning ports that just won't work? Sounds like your tablet. Chances are, the system board is the culprit. But don't stress. Today, I'm walking you through a step-by-step guide to replace it and get your Latitude 7320 back to life. Alright, here's what you'll need to get started. A Phillips screwdriver, a trusty plastic scribe, and of course, your new system board. Removing the display panel. Place the system on a padded surface with the display assembly facing down. Now open the kickstand to its widest angle. Once it's open, pop off the 4 screws securing the display to the back cover. Starting from the bottom right or left corner, gently pry the display panel away. Work your way around the top and remaining sides of the display panel. Now gently flip open the display assembly from the machine and lay it face down. Next up, remove the single screw securing the battery cable connector and carefully disconnect it from the system board. With that out of the way, unscrew the 2 screws holding the display cable bracket in place. Then, disconnect the display cable. Remove the display assembly from the computer. Removing the battery. Go ahead and unscrew the 6 screws that secure the battery to the frame. Now disconnect and gently peel back the docking connector FPC and hall sensor daughter board FPC from the battery. Gently lift the battery out of the frame. Removing the right and left fan. Now onto the fans. Unscrew, disconnect, and lift the right fan out of the system. Repeat for the left fan. Removing the solid-state drive. Remove the single screw securing the solid-state drive shield in place. Then lift it away from the machine. Now slide the solid-state drive out the computer. Removing the heatsink. Lift the system board shielding cover from the system board. Now loosen the 4 captive screws securing the heatsink in place, then lift it out of the machine. Removing the kickstand and kickstand hinges. Next, remove the screws that secure the kickstand and kickstand hinges in place. Lift the kickstand and kickstand hinges away from the system. Removing the system board. Remove the 2 screws that secure the system board to the frame. Do not forget to disconnect the volume button FPC, USH FFC, audio port FPC, rear-facing camera FPC, and the power button daughterboard FPC from the system board. Next, remove the right and left speaker. Now gently lift the system board out of the system. Installing the new system board. Line the system board up with the screw holes on the frame. Next, reconnect all the cables we disconnected earlier. This includes the power button daughterboard FPC, volume button FPC, USH FFC, and audio port FPC. Now install the right microphone module, rear-facing camera, and IR camera. Installing left and right speaker. Place the left speaker back in its slot, making sure to reconnect the cable. Repeat the same process for the right speaker. Installing the left and right fan. Align the screw holes on the left system fan with the screw holes on the frame. Then connect the left system fan FPC to the connector on the system board. Replace the 2 screws to secure the system fan to the frame. Repeat the same process for the right fan. Connect the antenna cables. Next, connect the antenna cables to the wireless card, following the color coding, white for the main, black for the auxiliary. Installing the solid-state drive. Now slide the solid-state drive into its slot on the system board. Then replace the shielding cover. Replace the single screw that secures it to the system board. Installing the heatsink. Apply a pea-sized amount of thermal paste to the CPU. Now align the heatsink with the system board and secure it by tightening the 4 captive screws. Once in place, snap the system board shielding cover back on. Do not forget to install the kickstand and hinges. Follow these steps. Align the screw holes on the kickstand and hinges with the screw holes on the frame, then replace the screws. Installing the battery. Reinstall the battery by placing it back into the frame. Now replace the 6 screws that secure the battery to the frame. Reattach the docking connector FPC on the battery. Repeat this process for the Hall sensor daughterboard FPC. Installing the display panel. Place the display assembly face down, just below the computer, then connect the display cable to the connector on the system board. Next, place the display cable bracket on the display cable connector, then replace the 2 screws to secure it to the system board. Reconnect the battery cable to the system board, then replace the single screw to secure it in place. Do not forget to install the interposer board before connecting the battery cable. Next, flip the display assembly onto the frame. Gently press along the edges of the display assembly until it snaps into place. Now secure the display panel by replacing the 4 screws. Finally, power on the machine and test to ensure everything is functioning properly.